Good morning. Welcome to the mobile application program of Ashram IS Academy. Today, in the present session, I am going to introduce Unit 8, Philosophy of Religion Part 2. This will start with the topic religious experience, and it will end with the view of weight. Now, to begin with, religious experience. What is this religious experience? Religious experience is a specific experience, such as wondering at the infinity of the cosmos. Then, a sense of awe and mystery in the presence of holy, sacred, and the feeling of full surrender towards religious experiences. Now, religious experience is always found in connection with a personal concern and quest for oneself, a holy. Now, a religious experience is classified as a spiritual experience, sacred experience, and mystical experience. Now, William James calls religious experience ineffable because he thinks that it is such an experience which cannot be captured in ordinary language. It is so temporary that it ends in moments. Now, this religious experience is noetic. Who says this? Again, William James said, it is noetic. What does it mean? This means it is indirect, not direct. Not that we perceive God directly and have the experience. Rather, we perceive or we have that experience of God through different means, like worship, like other rituals, and so on. Through this, we can have the experience of that God. Now, mystical experience reveals otherwise hidden or inaccessible knowledge. It is always found in the state of religious experience. This is true, very true. When you are having such experience, you will find yourself totally inactive, passive. You just go on only perceiving what is happening, not doing anything. This is the special feature of a religious experience. Now, mysticism. Now, mysticism is defined as a spiritual discipline aiming at union with the divine through deep meditation or trance-like contemplation. This is called mysticism. Norman Hebel defines religious experience as the structured way in which a believer enters relationship with or gains awareness of the sacred within the context of a particular religious tradition. That in the mediated experience, the believer experiences the sacred through meditation, through mediation. Some mediators, such as rituals, then particular persons, religious groups, and so on. You see, the experience which is called mediated experience. Now, according to Hegel, the direct release experience comes to the believer without any intervening agency or any mediator. The DTO divine is experienced directly. You see, another way, this is called direct release experience. And at work. So, in a public release experience, a believer sees God's hand at work, where other explanations are possible. For example, looking at a beautiful sunset. These are also the experiences about which Swinburne talks about. Now, according to Swinburne, a private release experience is definitely what I'm experiencing. That is just a private experience, which is not easily describable, as you have seen. Hegel has said that it is not possible to express it in ordinary language. Now, according to Swinburne, the principle of graduality holds that in the absence of any reason, the disbeliever disbelieve it. For any reason to disbelieve it, one should accept what appears to be true. For example, if one sees someone walking on water, one should accept it to be a reality if there is no such justifications against this. Now, according to Swinburne, the principle of testimony holds that in the absence of any reason to disbelieve them, one should accept the eyewitnesses of believers are telling the truth when they testify about release experiences. When there is no reason to disbelieve, what will you do? You will accept what they are saying about their experiences. The numinous experience has one aspect from a mystical numinous, which is the tendency to invoke fear and tremble. According to Otto, another thinker, there is no religion in which the numinous does not exist as the real innermost core, and without the numinous, no religion would be worthy to be called a religion. Now come ecstasy. What is this ecstasy? In ecstasy, the believer is understood to have a soul or a spirit which can leave the body and move in long distance. Ecstasy, the focus is on the soul leaving the body and experiencing transcendental realities. Now, mystical experiences are in any way the opposite of numinous experiences. Now, in the mystical experience, all otherness disappears and the believer becomes one with the transcendent. This is mystical experience. The term spiritual awakening may be used to refer to a wide range of experiences, including being born again, near-death experiences, and mystical knowledge, such as liberation and enlightenment. Now, the other topic is religion without God. Now, see how this issue has been presented. The entire religious activities move around God. God is supposed to be at the center of every religion. In some religions, even the attainment of God is supposed to be the highest goal of life. The term religion is derived from a word, religare, to guide. This is the literal meaning of the term religion. Now, to connect means to connect finite human beings with the infinite God. Martineau defines religion as a belief in an ever-living God, that is, a divine. The mind will be ruling the universe and hold moral relation with humanity. Western view holds that there cannot be a religion without God. Religion cannot be said, but religion cannot be said to be the synonym of theism, because in religion there are much more other things than that of only theism. The primary purpose of religion is to provide peace and to remove sufferings from their lives. The highest aim of every religion is a spiritual in nature. For example, the highest spiritual purpose of Hinduism is to attain moksha. A spiritual purpose. The main scriptures of Buddhism are Vinaya Pitak, Sutta Pitak, and Abhidhamma Pitak, where Buddha had explained the idea of religion. Now, the law of karma is an essential feature of religion. The law of karma holds that as we sow, so we must reap. Our good actions are rewarded, but our bad actions are punished. Now, the issue has been resolved on the basis that there are some religions like Jainism and Buddhism. They are universal religions, although there is no God at the center of Jainism or Buddhism. So this proves and shows that there can be religion without God. So the idea of Western thought that there cannot be a religion without God is not acceptable. Now come and see religion and morality. Religion is described as truths, beliefs, and practices to relate human beings to the realities or God. This is the definition of religion. Morality contains some moral attitudes and beliefs concerning what is right and what is wrong, what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is good and what is bad. This is morality, this is ethics. Moksha is the ultimate goal of human life. Now you see, with regard to the relation between religion and morality, there are two views. One view holds that religion is prior to morality, and the other view holds that morality is prior to religion. Now see the first view, how it is being argued. Now, it is said that the religious goal is moksha, is the ultimate goal of human life. And morality is just a means to attain that ultimate goal, moksha. Now saying, see, morality is the means, and the means comes later. First comes the goal. So the first view holds that this religion is prior to morality. But the second view argued that yes, the attainment of moksha is the highest goal. And means comes first, then comes the goal. Unless there is means, we cannot achieve the goal. So the second view holds that morality is prior to religion. It comes first. Now, morality determines the way and means to attain moksha. Now, it is also argued that religion without morality is empty. Why? Because what more things you will find in religion? Basically and mainly, you will find the descriptions of different moral codes and moral rules and moral laws. So, religion without morality is said to be empty. And morality without religion is said to be blind. Why? Because this religion guides the morality of human beings to act morally, to act honestly. So we can say that morality without religion is blind. So this became very important statement in regard to the relation between religion and morality. Now, one important thing to know and understand that morality supersedes religion, because when a conflict between religious belief and moral belief takes place, then it is found that one opts this moral belief, not the religious belief. How? I'm just going to remind you people one incident which occurred in the past, recent past, that people have started pouring milk on Lord Ganesha on account of the religious belief to please Ganesha, Lord Ganesha. But the question is that if one starts pouring every drop of milk on Lord Ganesha and children start starving in dearth of milk, then this becomes the moral duty of everyone to save the life of children. So there comes moral belief. One is the religious belief to pour milk on Lord Ganesha. The other is moral belief that to save the life of children. Now the question is that what a common man will go for? Definitely, a common man will first save the life of children. So when the conflict takes place between religious belief and moral belief and moral belief, so it is in this sense that morality supersedes religion. Now come and see the case of religious pluralism. How religious pluralism is important for us. The idea of religious pluralism has developed in contemporary philosophy. It is a contemporary concept. It is a thought intending to minimize the occurrence of religious conflicts, because this religious pluralism gives the idea to live along with different religions in one society. So religious pluralism is defined as an experience concerning the coexistence of different religions. Religious pluralism implies the worldwide view according to which one's religion is not the sole and exclusive source of truth. This is what religious pluralism maintains, that it is not the case that any one religion has absolute truth. Different arguments are given, and the argument is this, that we find that religion is presented in some book, and in book there are different statements which need different interpretations. And if it is the case that different interpretations are there, then how can we accept the truthfulness of a particular religion and point of view of a particular religion? So it is said that we cannot, one religion has absolute truth. It is further used in the sense of acceptance of concept that two or more religions with mutually exclusive truth claims are equally valid. This is also what religious pluralism maintains, that two religions, two faiths with opposite views can live together. Now again, sometimes it is used as a synonym for ecumenism. This religious pluralism is used as a synonym for ecumenism, that is the promotion of some level of unity and cooperation among different religions, because religion is not directly the words of God. Religious books are commit errors. So no religion can claim to have the absolute truth. Now, we find that the religious texts contain verses and ambiguous statements which need interpretation. Different people give different interpretations. This also becomes a reason to hold that no religion can have the absolute truth, as I have discussed. Now, religious pluralism is sometimes used as synonym for interfaith dialogue. What is interfaith dialogue? It is a dialogue which takes place among members of different religions. What for? To minimize the chances of conflict between two religions. Now, interfaith dialogue is complex if the members of different religions adopt a position of particularism. Interfaith dialogue will rather fail if members of different religions adopt the attitude of particularism, that no, my religion is the best. Others say his religion is the best. Then this interfaith dialogue never becomes possible. Again, this is possible when one develops the attitude of universalism. What does this universalism mean? This means that yes, my religion has some truth, but your religion has also some truth. With this attitude of universalism, that one can have this interfaith dialogue. Now, they say, this interfaith dialogue becomes successful if adherents of religion have some form of inclusivism, not exclusivism. What does it mean? Exclusivism says that my religion has absolute truth, your religion does not have any truth. This is exclusivism. Inclusivism says that yes, my religion has some truth and your religion has also some truth. So this attitude of inclusivism that supports the interfaith dialogue. Now, religious pluralism exists when there is no sense of competition. When there is no sense of competition, rather there is a sense of cooperation. Then this religious pluralism can exist in a society. Now, Hicks' response, see what Hicks has to say, very important. Hicks' response to this issue is that the referent of religious belief claims is ultimately confirmed, they must necessarily be historically and culturally mediated. If this is the case, no one traditional grounds for claiming an exclusive or privileged status. So it's not possible when it is mediated. Nature and function now. Next topic comes nature and function of religious statements. Very important. What is the nature and function of religious statement? When you say God is good, then what does this sentence mean? Now, the central issue about religious statement is said to be the nature and function. There are two important views and answers to this question, what is the nature and function of religious statements? The one is called cognitivism. The other is called non-cognitivism. Now, cognitivism holds that the only function of religious statements is cognitive, is information giving. And non-cognitivism holds that the function of religious statements is not cognitive. It is not to give any kind of information. Now, there is third quasi-cognitive theory. This quasi-cognitivism maintains that the primary function of religious statements is cognitive, but it has many secondary functions to perform. Now, pure cognitivism holds that religious statements are analytic and synthetic. Now, quasi-cognitive statements can be analogical and symbolic. These are the two kinds of quasi-cognitive statements. There are three non-cognitivistic theories in religion. They are the Blick theory of air, the mythical theory of Braithwaite, and the conventional theory of Jodick. Now, there are two theories of quasi-cognitivism, such as analogical theory and symbolic theory, which are very important. Now, the analogical theory, these are two theories of quasi-cognitivism. Now, analogical theory is advocated by Thomas Aquinas, and the symbolic theory has been advocated by Paul Tillich. These are two very important topics. The analogical theory holds that religious statements are analogical in nature. Aquinas argued that God is both transcendent and immanent. When God is immanent, then we cannot say that we do not know anything about God. But when God is transcendent, we cannot say that we know anything about God. So, neither we can say that we know God, nor can we say that we do not know God. Now, this situation, says Thomas Aquinas, the situation in which we will say that religious statements are neither cognitive nor non-cognitive, it is analogical. Hence, they can be only analogical. Now, according to Aquinas, the nature of God can be described based on analogical language. Analogical language. Analogical language, according to Aquinas, is quasi-cognitive in nature. In the analogy of attribution, very important concept of Thomas Aquinas, the analogy of attribution. Aquinas argues that God has created us, and so we are called wise. Just because God is wise, that wisdom of God. Now see, what is being argued by Thomas Aquinas, that God has wisdom, God has goodness, God has many good qualities, and we are created by God. So we are also having that goodness, that wisdom. We are also called good, we are also called wise. But Aquinas says that these, our goodness, our wisdom, they are just imitation of the real goodness and wisdom of God. So they are not as great as that of the God's wisdom and goodness. So what happens? That just by looking our wisdom, goodness, infer by analogy that this wisdom and goodness are there in God, but in greater proportion, but in the real form. So this is known as analogy of attribution. Now, analogical language, according to Aquinas, is quasi-cognitive in nature. So we find that how this Thomas Aquinas has shown these statements to be analogical in nature. The basic idea is that we possess qualities like those of God, goodness, wisdom, faithfulness, etc. And these all are created by God in us at the time of creation. So when we are called good or faithful, then we also think that God is also good and faithful. Now, symbolism, which is another quasi-cognitivistic theory, this holds that symbols participate in the power of that which is symbolized. For example, Trishul is the symbol of the power of Lord Shiva. It is not the symbol of Shiva. It is a symbol of the power of Lord Shiva. Now, according to this mortalation, religious statements are all symbolic in nature. They are the symbols. That's why it's known as symbolism. Now, according to Braithwaite, religious statements are mythical in nature. They express myths, stories. Usually in different religions, love, compassion, and altruism become the modes of action. But these are expressed through mythical stories. So Braithwaite holds that the nature of religious statement is mythical. Now, so religious statements are not factual because myths are not facts. Now here, another important non-cognitivistic theory or non-cognitivistic thinker, he holds that religious statements are bleak. Now what is this bleak? This bleak refers to a fixed idea and notion about certain things, although there is a contrary case in regard to that. Just for example, one student of Oxford University, he was having this belief that professors of that university want to kill him. There was no ground, no reason, but this was fixed in his mind. This is called mental blockage. And this is what we say here. We find that a sort of blick expressed by here. So what here is telling that we always call God good, although one is suffering so much, but still he says that no, God is good, God is great. This sort of statement said here is just a blick, a fixed idea, although things are totally contrary and different from what he is thinking of. So now, according to here, religious statements are of the nature of bleak. Since religious statements are bleak and bleaks are non-factual, they are not factual, they are non-factual. So religious statements are also non-factual. Again, according to here, these statements are not cognitive. They are not the objects of scientific analysis. Definitely. So with this, we see that how different topics in the religion part 2, that is in unit 8, have been discussed by different thinkers in different ways. And we at last find that how these two theories, the theory of analogy and theory of symbolism, become very important. One is the theory of Thomas Aquinas, that analogical theory, and symbolism is the theory of Paul Tillich. Now with this, I'm going to close my presentation. Thanks.